Yo, so there you got along with the Six Can Poet. Response to a lot about us. Um, Off the top, for the dance off, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go with Mike. But just get that out the way and move on to commitment and abortion. I think those are definitely issues that are up to the individual and how they want to deal with it. However, I do feel like as a mass, it affects everyone else. So, um, when it comes to um, sorry, when it comes to everybody else, as far as when you find yourself dating, I think people get comfortable, and so if you have an individual with when you're dealing with a relationship, I feel like okay, you have a relationship, and you have friendships and associations, and they all fit in different places. And the closer you try to bring your relationship to association, as far as commitment, I'm gonna take a little time off and go do my thing. That's not always acceptable with other people because me as a person in particular, I'm gonna prefer that I'm a priority. I don't want to be I don't want to be a convenience or and that's typically what it is. If you find an individual that's dating someone, but they want to not they don't want to put the time in to a situation, um, or they feel they can't stay loyal to the individual for whatever duration that is. But you decided to date this person, so why didn't you just be friends with the person and have, I guess, a dating situation? It just doesn't make sense to me, I guess, when people need to have an open relationship. But I'm not really clowning or nothing like that because I have friends that have open relationships, whatever. You know, if it works for you, it works for you. I just don't understand the validity of being in a relationship if you could just be friends or whatever. So, I personally feel like I would want so much attention and I don't want to share it or I don't want to take time off from it or I would rather not be in a relationship. So, on that front, I would have to say I don't agree with it, but I accept it because I guess people are happy that way. So if I have, if my friends are happy with it, then I'm happy for them. As far as well, I did commitment, abortion. Wow, I have so many friends that have kids by different people, and they're totally fine with it. Doesn't bother them. Um, Most of them, I would say, don't believe in abortion, and some of them uh, do. So, as far as my particular views, even though I respect everybody for their opinion, and whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna do. I feel like, I'm kind of both ways, like you guys are. I feel like you shouldn't, um, you shouldn't have kids if you're not ready to have kids. And I feel like today there's a different level of wanting to have kids. I feel like if you go out and you have kids, you should have time for them. You should have love in your heart. You should be working on self. No parent is going to be perfect. But it's very difficult with abortion. That's a difficult subject because I don't think the government should intervene and say, oh, well, you can or you can't. But I do feel like the government should not support people who are having these kids. And I think that's the quickest way to fix it. I feel like if they make it difficult for the person, well, not difficult, they make the person stand on their own 2 feet. You can't go get no food stamps. You can't go get any emergency aid. And the majority of people are not going to pay for it. You're going to pay for your own kids. No write-offs at the end of the year. You when you decide that you're going to have kids, you take financial responsibility for them, not the rest of the country. But the way our government works, I would say that they support people just to go out and have kids, and then you have a cushion. So you have a lot of people, I think, who would not ordinarily have kids. But again, I feel like, if it's your choice, if you choose to want to have kids, then more power to you. You do what you do. But I do feel like, as a whole, people feel totally comfortable with saying, well, well, I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to have some kids. And I don't care whether or not the father's there at all. Well, even though that's just fine and dandy for you, when it really comes down to it, all these fatherless children don't have a role model. And I do not believe that a mother can do the job. A mother cannot raise a woman and a man, because a man is there for a reason. A man is there for protection, for guidance, and he gives a male's perspective to that child. So when you just say, oh, that's fine and dandy, that child doesn't need that, you cut off, you take out a certain part of what that child needs in order to survive in this world. And that's, I think, when you look in the grand scheme of things, why so many of these kids are just wild and out of control and act like they don't have any sense, because they don't have that discipline that they would have if more fathers were in the picture. And I can't just say, oh, well, it's the father's fault, because a lot of women just say, oh, the child doesn't need the father. And I think in the grand scheme of things, it hurts your child. Everyone is beginning to feel like, because so many women are raising children, or vice versa sometimes, where the fathers weren't raising kids and the mother's going, that they think it's okay, it's the norm for kids to come up without both parents. And so I feel like if you can't offer that child at least that, which they would be entitled to, I think that's unfair to the child. And so in some situations, I feel like, yeah, some of these people do need abortion. If you feel like you're just going to raise a child up in chaos, then rather than have that child suffer, yeah. But then again, on the other end of the spectrum, I do feel like, if you just give the people ability to just throw something away, I think the best way to do it is to say, whatever with the abortion part, and cut off all that assistance. And I think that would be a quick fix. But there's my take on it. Get it, Mike? Oh. But that's not to say that both of y'all can't dance. It's just personal opinion. Anyway, don't take it personally. Just been along with 16 Poet, and I'll